Hey there, welcome back to Matcha. Today we're counting down the top 10 best upcoming isekai and fantasy anime releases for 2025 and 2026, all of them backed by official key visuals and solid release windows. So this isn't rumor mongering, it's the hype with receipts. Expect a mix: slow burn heartbreak, razor-sharp mysteries, odd little sleepers, and spectacle anime that demand your headphones. I'll call out the premise that makes each show binge-worthy, note the teasers you shouldn't miss, and flag the moments likely to blow up the comments. Stick around for the emotional payoff at the top of the list. The #1 pick rewrites how fantasy treats time and memory. Ready? Let's kick off the countdown with number 10.
Number 10, The Holy Grail of Eris, ushers you into a tense mystery where a modest viscount's daughter named Constance, a bystander stripped of status, receives an extraordinary ally in the form of Scarlet Castiel's ghost, a noblewoman executed a decade ago for villainous crimes. Scarlet possesses Connie to clear her name, and in return, Connie must uncover the truth behind Scarlet's death, a conspiracy that stretches from highborn courts to national intrigue. The premise is brilliantly layered, not a treasure hunt, but a haunting investigation where each discovery tightens the knot of corruption and loyalty. Politics, betrayal, and buried legacies fester beneath society's polite facade, and viewers who savor intrigue served cold with a touch of the supernatural will stay riveted. The tug-of-war between a living soul and a restless ghost makes every clue feel personal, not just a puzzle, but a reckoning. And if that chills you, wait! Number 9 drags the tension deeper into everyday survival.
Number 9. The daily life of a 29-year-old single adventurer opens with an unshowy hook. A 30-year-old single man awakens in a fantasy world determined to earn a legging as an adventurer. And that everyday angle is what makes the premise brilliant. Rather than relying on instant power fantasies, the series explores slow craft, job hunting, party dynamics, and the economics of survival, turning routine tasks into surprisingly rich character scenes. The adult perspective brings subtle humor, realistic stakes, and a grounded moral core, so growth feels earned and the world feels lived in. Moments of quiet competence, awkward camaraderie, and realistic setbacks give the show a warmth often missing from flashier titles, which invites steady engagement over quick thrills. If you liked careful world building and character-driven progress, this one rewards patience with relatable payoff. Next up at number 8, a darker, more magical classroom awaits. It shifts the tone sharply.
Number 8, The Classroom of a Black Cat and Witch opens like a secret lesson slipped into a crowded corridor. A school where magic is taught not as flashy power, but as a dangerous craft with real costs. The premise is razor sharp. Instructors who test ethics as often as technique, and students forced to face the fallout of every spell they cast. Every episode turns an assignment into a moral puzzle, and the series rewards attention with slow, unsettling reveals that make spells feel weighty instead of theatrical. The aesthetic leans gothic and playful at once. Ink-dark classrooms, a sly black cat as a curious guide, and rituals that look beautiful until they bite back. If you crave tension wrapped in intimacy, this show makes classroom politics feel epic. Hold on, number 7 flips the page from classroom spells to a world where books decide fate and destiny.
Number 7. The Other World's books depend on the bean counter opens with a premise so precise it feels fresh. An accountant is summoned to a realm where ledgers and budgets literally shape fate. Bureaucracy is treated as magic. Audits become trials. Inventory lists unlock guild privileges. And tax law reads like prophecy. The protagonist turns accounting into survival strategy. Spreadsheets act like spellbooks. Reconciliations become cunning plans. And small clerical choices ripple into political upheaval. The tone balances dry humor with rising stakes, making quiet character beats land as hard as battlefield scenes. It rewards viewers who like brains over brawn, turning mundane details into suspenseful, satisfying mysteries. Each episode hides a ledger clue that unlocks deeper plot threads, so viewers who pay attention are rewarded with clever payoffs and discussion fodder online too. Next at number 6, a darker, heroic odyssey demands a reckoning of a different kind.
Number 6. Sentenced to be a Hero opens with a premise that flips the reward system of fantasy. Instead of the world choosing a champion, a court, god, or curse forces someone to take on heroism as punishment. That tension Duty imposed rather than earned turns every triumph into moral friction and every victory into a sentence that strips agency. The show mines darker themes without losing adventure: brutal training, reluctant alliances, and question of whether ends justify the means. It pairs grim, high-stakes battles with surprising empathy, so the protagonist's small acts of kindness land like resistance. Visually, the series favors weighty compositions and muted palettes that make triumphs feel earned and losses resonate. For viewers tired of wish fulfillment fantasies, this rewards those who want consequences baked into every beat. Up next at number 5, a supernatural ledger waits where paperwork weighs as much as steel.
Number 5, Dead Account drops supernatural horror into the modern feed following 15-year-old Soji Enishiro, a streamer known as Aoringo, whose online life collides with real danger. The official premise flips ghosts into a digital menace. Spirits inhabit social media accounts, corrupting posts, messages, and live streams. Exorcists become cyber operators who train to purge infected feeds, blending ritual with hacking and combat. This modern splice makes stakes immediate. A viral clip can become a curse and a comment can change a life. So every confrontation feels urgent. This series pairs high-energy exorcism battles with a human core, grief over family loss, spectacle ethics, and the costs of fame. Visually, it favors neon streets and glitching apparitions, making the internet's glow a source of dread. For viewers who want fantasy that speaks to now, the premise is sharp, frightening, and heartbreakingly relevant, undeniably. Next at number 4, a classic isekai returns.
Number 4. Reincarnated as a dragon hatchling opens on a premise that quietly flips expectations. Instead of arriving as an overpowered hero, the protagonist is reborn helpless, a tiny, defenseless dragon whose growth is slow, unpredictable, and earned. That inconvenient beginning sharpens everything. Survival becomes a series of creative choices, alliances form out of necessity, and every small success reshapes how the world treats a growing beast. The show thrives because the premise forces patient storytelling. Progress feels meaningful, threats scale naturally, and character bonds form around care rather than conquest. Humorous beats come from literal size problems and awkward learning curves, while emotional punches land when the hatchling's vulnerabilities expose human cruelty and kindness alike. Visually, the series balances adorable early designs with sweeping cinematic vistas as the dragon matures, which makes each power-up feel like earned history rather than checklist progression. For viewers who love steady payoff and slow burn spectacle, this is a masterclass in how premise can carry an epic. Next at number 3, a brutal divine tournament pushes stakes to mythic extremes.
Number 3, Record of Ragnarok Season 3 opens with a premise that punches straight through spectacle. Gods and humans settle humanity's fate in a gladiatorial mythic tournament where every match rewrites legend. That clarity of stakes, survival or extinction decided by single fights, makes each bout irresistibly tense. The show excels because its premise turns familiar myths into personal battles. Legendary figures meet modern storytelling, and clever reinterpretations force you to reassess heroes you thought you knew. Combat scenes read like short stories made kinetic, with each fighter's backstory folded into their techniques so victories feel earned and losses cut deep. Stylistically, it blends colossal set pieces with intimate emotional beats, so the drama never tips into empty showboating. Every clash advances theme as much as plot. For viewers who crave high-stakes spectacle wrapped in human stakes and creative reimaginings of myth, this season is a relentless thrill ride. And if god-slaying duels raise the bar, number 2 turns the tension inward. Curses, consequences, and citywide stakes escalate everything.
Number 2, Jujutsu Kaisen Season 3's culling game arc thrives on a premise that bends chaos into order. A deadly battle royale disguised as ritual where sorcerers clash not for glory, but to reshape the rules of reality itself. Every participant becomes both predator and pawn, their motives feeling unpredictable alliances and betrayals. The brilliance lies in how the premise pushes strategy as much as spectacle. Maps become traps, rules become weapons, and survival is as much about wit as raw power. With each fight, the city transforms into a living board, and even side characters get moments that redefine the stakes. The culling game premise ensures every step forward carries the weight of sacrifice, consequence, and escalation, rewarding viewers who thrive on constant tension. And while this arc sets the battlefield ablaze, number 1 rises above even this intensity, a story of grief, time, and magic, returning grander than ever before.
Number 1,
Frieren, Beyond Journey's End, Season 2, sits at the peak not because of spectacle, but because its premise reshapes how we think about fantasy itself. Where most stories end at the hero's victory, Frieren begins, a mage outliving her companions, wandering through the centuries and quietly learning what those fleeting human bonds meant. Season 2 expands this premise into richer, more daring territory. The journey becomes less about nostalgia and more about confronting the weight of memory, the ache of absence, and the slow rediscovery of meaning in an endless life. What makes the premise so powerful is its contrast, sweeping fantasy landscapes set against intimate, almost fragile conversations. Battles hold weight, but silences hold more. Viewers are rewarded with a rare blend of grandeur and tenderness, where even small gestures carry epic resonance. In a genre crowded with heroes chasing glory, Frieren shows the beauty of aftermath, of lingering, of choosing to remember. That simple yet profound premise is why this season is not just another fantasy, it's a meditation woven into magic. And with that, our list closes. But the real journey begins when these worlds finally reach the screen.
10 shows, 10 very different reasons to be excited. From quiet, aching tales to full-on fantasy brawls. Drop a comment with which title you're camping out for first and any wild predictions. I'll be reading the best takes. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next deep dive. Maybe leave a like and subscribe to make a guy happy after hours of editing. Press on that bell icon too while you're at it, so you'll be notified about all of my latest new videos. And as for now, I'll catch you later.